สวัสดีค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะช่วงนี้พบกับนัทธาไลฟ์กับดิฉันนัทธาโกมลวาทินค่ะผู้ดำเนินรายการที่นี่ไทย PBS และช่วงเวลานี้เราต้องสวมหน้ากากอนามัยกันอย่างเคร่งครัดนะคะเพื่อรับมือกับโควิด -19 นอกจากประเทศไทยแล้วที่อินเดียขณะนี้กำลังเผชิญสถานการณ์วิกฤตระลอกที่2ค่ะและความรุนแรงหนักมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะคะจากวิกฤตโควิด -19 สวัสดีคุณเพื่อนๆที่เพิ่งจะเข้ามานะคะวันนี้ดิฉันจะอัปเดตสถานการณ์รายงานเกี่ยวกับอินเดียค่ะและได้เชิญเพื่อนผู้สื่อข่าวคุณนเรศ โซนิเข้ามาพูดคุยกันเพื่อที่จะให้ช่วยกันรายงานนะคะว่าที่อินเดียเป็นอย่างไรบ้างค่ะ Good evening คุณนเรศGood evening. Can you hear me?
Hello, Nattha. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you? I just told Thai audience that right now India is facing second wave crisis and it's very serious. Can you tell us where you are and what's the situation like where you are right now?
Well, I think things are really, really bad here. I think it's worse than any bad dream, as if we are living. It's really very scary here, and people are dying every day. And unlike the first wave, where we used to hear maybe in some distant connection that somebody got COVID, or very rarely we heard about someone died. But now what's happening every day? In fact, every day, I'm so scared to even check my Facebook status because every day we get to know someone has died. Things are really bad here. And I think today we achieved another record of 354,000 cases in a single day. That's the worst record you'd ever would like to have for your name. I mean, things are really bad. And this COVID has exposed us at several fronts. Like what I believe that more than COVID, what is really killing us is the poor health infrastructure. And this is not just, this is not something which we can blame to maybe one government or one people. It's not like that. It has been like that. We spend so much of our GDP on maybe the ammunitions and for all those, but not on health infrastructure. So we are completely, and sadly, we are completely exposed that our health infrastructure is not appropriate. More people are dying not just because of COVID, because they are not getting beds in the hospital, they are not getting oxygen on time, they are not getting doctors, they are not getting medicines, and that's the worst we could ever imagine.
Yes, the image that we saw from international news is really, really serious. We see how you have to have mass cremation, and even though you burn bodies very, very fast each day, it's still not enough space to accommodate dead bodies. So how do you go about in your daily life, Kunaret?
Well, my daily life is much different these days. Just some time back, I was in USA for my work related thing, but I had to cut it short and come back so that I can be with my family. Things are really bad here. And now I came on 20th and I haven't stepped out of my home once. And if I ask about my wife, my family, they have not even stepped out for last 15, 20 days, not even once. They are not stepping out. We are not stepping out at all. And that's how we are trying to keep ourselves safe, but we are not sure how long we can remain safe like this, because this time this wave is much more contagious and much more a killer wave this is. We are seeing so many young people dying every day. They look healthy, but they are dying. So this wave, and I have also came across to the incidents where people, those are probably got recovered, came out of COVID maybe a week back, and they are infected again. So where are the antibodies? So what I understand, probably this time we have so many variants, so many mutants out, that no matter if you have like one antibody you have one antibody, but then there are so many other viruses, other versions of the same virus which are there to kill you. So things are much changed. All what I can do, all what we are doing, and not just we, but many like us, when we get to know about someone who got infected, we try to help them in best possible ways. Like This time we are feeding 2 families. So, and we have no courage to go out and deliver the food, but we have people outside. They are the, you can say, the front warriors for the COVID, and they are making sure that we prepare the food and they deliver it, and they are practicing the best hygiene they can.
That's
so life is
very
totally
sad.
different. Yeah.
Yes. You said
Sad
you
and
couldn't.
scary.
Yeah, you said your family couldn't go out at all. So how do you live with food supplies, or you just have food delivery to your home?
Exactly. So what we initially did, because we could, this is the first experience of first wave, we knew that this time could be harder. So we made sure that we have enough food at home. So at the very beginning, we bought more ration, which again doesn't sound good, because that can also create a kind of supply issue. But are we left with any other option? We can't go out every day and buy ration, because doing that will probably be contributing more in the spreading. Either we get infected or we infect someone else. So that's not an option. So we had to buy in large quantities, and for anything other, we also depending highly on the online services. There are some online services which we reach out to for those supplies. That's how that is going.
Yeah, it's very sad, and the whole world is watching with very concerning feeling for all Indian people right now. And what about the situation of vaccination? What's the attempt by the government to try to vaccinate people? It is still going on as well.
It is going on. It is almost at the highest vaccination number we have at this time. The speed is the best so far, but still, we cannot deny that we are 1.36 billion people. It will take time for sure. So far we could only vaccinate almost, when I say vaccinated, I say 2 doses, right? So in that sense, we are just 1.6% of the population got vaccinated. So it's a big mile to achieve yet. And I believe things are really bad. Yeah.
Have yourself got one already?
Not yet, because I said I was in US. I could not do that. Number one. Number two, this vaccination started in phase wise. Like so far, only people above 45 were eligible for the vaccination. So I was not obviously coming into that bracket. And government has recently announced that from 1st May, people above the age of 18 can get the vaccination. So we see a big jump right then. And even the earlier phase, when above 45 were allowed, people were a bit reluctant. They were not sure about the side effects and all, the kind of mixed news we were getting. So we were a bit apprehensive on that front too. So, but now I think media is playing their role. Many influencers, people have got vaccinated, and we are getting a lot of good news that people, those are getting 2 shots, are much safer than even if they get infected, they are at least not going to the ventilator. Things could not be that bad for them. So this is for sure. So that clarity was not before. So government is doing what they can do best, but we are big population. That's the major reason. Yeah.
Yes, that's big situation in India as well, especially on large population. And what about the wearing mask and social distancing? Do people apply those measures quite strictly right now, or people just keep staying at home? Because in New Delhi and Mumbai right now, it's on lockdown. So it must have affected for all the citizens in both big cities.
Right. So I think situation is different as compared to urban and rural. When you go to big cities, there are very less people on the road. Maybe they who are out for the essential services, or maybe due to some emergencies. And when they come out, they are with masks, because there are some heavy penalties as well. So in a city like Delhi, when you go out, you see less people. They all are masked with proper hygiene, most of them at least. And if you go into the rural, I think the masking problem is still there. Not everyone is masked, but I think situation is much better than the as far as the how hygiene practices we are adopting. If we are putting masks and sanitizers and all that, so as compared to the first wave, we are much prepared and situation is much better on that front. That's why me and maybe many people like me are expecting that the kind of vertical surge we have seen this time, it should come down in the same speed. That's what we all can hope. But I'll also say, because I believe India's political system is a complicated one, a very complicated one. Things at some time, what you maybe get to know sitting there in Thailand or maybe anywhere, probably the real picture could be different. So politics is quite complicated, which do not hesitate to transmit a fake picture sometimes. So things are really bad here, no doubt. But we also need to understand that if we look at the per capita deaths or the infections, we are still not even in top 75. I was just referring to that chart. I hope we never come into that. No country should come into that higher ladder for sure. But things are bad. But I think things were worse in many 75 other countries as well. So that's the kind of politics which is playing part here.
The lack of oxygen and urgent need of oxygen is very heartbreaking, because we see it in the news how people or in the community are trying to help one another of having oxygen tank to hospital, but it's still very much highly in demand. And Prime Minister Modi said he would build up 100 or more than 50 oxygen plants in the near future, like quite immediate. Do you think that would be probable, and how serious of the situation of lacking oxygen tank right now?
Well, this is one point where we need to appreciate government, the kind of new actions they have taken. In fact, the one answer is yes, we are actually exposed completely, that our infrastructure as far as the oxygen plant and preparedness for the oxygen, we were really bad there. That's why this number is so high today. But when it comes to the providing oxygen to the hospitals, government has come out with a very innovative and unprecedented solution. Government has instructed every factory, every company, that if you are using oxygen in your plant, this could be a criminal case now. You can't use oxygen for non-medical reason. If you have oxygen, it is your duty. You have to provide it to your government. So all the big factories, be it Jindal's, Reliance, Tata, all those biggies, they have completely stopped using oxygens in their plants, and they are transporting these oxygen, the liquid oxygen, to the state government, so that they can transport these gases to the right place, to the right hospital where it is required. So this is unprecedented, timely done. But again, all these efforts do take time, and we are losing people with every going minute, every going hour.
Naresh, I know that it must be really difficult for you and the whole people of India. And you said it's very heartbreaking every time you check on Facebook, people you know have passed away or people in those contacts. So nowadays, how do you give each other moral support in order to carry on through this crisis?
Well, I think that's what is a very important thing, what we actually need today. I believe Corona cannot be that lethal, we can not fight Corona unless we fight the fear of Corona. So the fear of Corona is more devastating than the Corona itself. That's what it is. So we all do require moral support when I am at least frequently reaching out to the people I know just to check about their whereabouts, just to extend that we are there and let us know if there's anything we can help with. Like I know like very close people. One is my extended family, one is a very good friend. They both are like more than one people. I mean, in one case, the husband and wife is positive. In other case, the whole family is positive. So we do offer that, okay, let us know whatever we can do. And we try to do in the best way. As I said, at this point, we're trying to provide food to them. But I think they require more. Mm-hmm. And I'm really helpless. What else I can do? Because really, it's not about whether I'm afraid or not. Because when I was in USA, there was a friend who was corona positive. And I went to their place. I stayed there for 2 days. I know that was probably a foolish thing to do, but I did that. But here I cannot do that. I have a family. If I go and take that risk for myself to help others, probably I'll come back with something bad at home. And I got small kids, like a handicapped mom, so I cannot take risk on that. So I really wish to go out and support them, so which I cannot do. I have my limitations, but I try to be connected with them through phones, through social media, and offer all what I can do remotely.
Naresh, I got one question from our audience from Vietnam. He asked, why Indian people still get together during festival in New Delhi, even though you are facing COVID-19. Have you heard the report about that festival?
Right. In fact, that I think she is referring to Kumbh, which is one of the biggest mass gathering maybe in the whole world. And not just that, there's one election already going on in West Bengal. That's the one province we have. And the election commission took a really too long to stop and put a ban on such mass gatherings. Again, political reasons. But I think we were ignorant. That is the right thing to admit. We assumed that corona is gone too quickly. We underestimated it. It's all, we actually failed. Life was coming to normal too quick, and we were not prepared. We were not imagining that it can hit us back so bad and so soon. So everything, I think people were too desperate for that normal life. So the moment we saw those declining numbers consistently, we thought, now we are safe. We can go out. People started joining those mass gatherings, that too without mask and without any hygiene practice. So that's something we have to admit without any hesitation, that it's all our fault, that we underestimated corona, that it's gone. That was too early for us.
Okay, I see.
I think this is what the whole world should take a learning from. That corona is probably, we have to wait until it is gone, instead of jumping to the conclusion that, okay, numbers are coming down, now we are good, we can come back to normal life. That should not be done.
Yes, Naresh, the whole world is watching, and we are learning and try to get ourselves prepared as well. And I see how international community are quite alert in trying to send more support, like equipments or oxygen, PPE to India as well. Today, I see the United States government, American government, UK government, German government are trying to work on it to send more support to Indian people. So thank you very much for joining me tonight and for keeping us updated with the situation of COVID-19 in India. I really appreciate your time, and I would like to convey all my support, moral support from Thailand and Thai audience. We have to get through this all together as well, and the situation in Thailand is getting serious as well. You can see that I have to wear a mask as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Nattha, for reaching out to me for this discussion. I convey my best wishes for Thailand and for the world. I hope we all get rid of this COVID as soon as we can. Thank you.
So stay safe to the whole of your family. Okay.
I wish you
good
safe.
night for
Thank
now,
you.
and let me translate to Thai audience in Thai. So good night for now from Thailand.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
ค่ะค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
ค่ะเอาละค่ะดิฉันจะแปลให้ฟังย่อๆนะคะเกี่ยวกับคุณนเรศที่มาเล่าให้ฟังถึงสถานการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นที่อินเดียค่ะคุณนเรศขณะนี้อยู่ที่อินเดียนะคะอยู่ที่กรุงนิวเดลีบอกว่า สถานการณ์แย่มากๆแล้วก็กำลังเศร้าและหดหู่อย่างมากนะคะมีคนติดเชื้อวันละไม่ต่ำกว่า 300,000 คนเกิน 300,000 คนมา5วันติดกันแล้ววันนี้วันเดียวเนี่ยประมาณ 350,000 คนช่วงนี้ก็ต้องระมัดระวังอย่างมากค่ะแล้วก็ไม่ออกไปไหนเลยทางบ้านเนี่ยไม่ออกไปไหนรวมถึงญาติพี่น้องเพื่อนๆที่เขารู้จักระมัดระวังตัวอยู่แต่ในบ้านแล้วถ้าต้องการอาหารต้องการเสบียงเพิ่มก็ใช้วิธีสั่งจากนอกบ้านนะคะตอนนี้ทุกคนระวังตัวอย่างมากแล้วก็ไม่อยากจะโทษรัฐบาลเพราะรู้สึกว่าปัญหาเป็นเรื่องที่ต้องระแวดระวังกันไม่สามารถที่จะวิพากษ์วิจารณ์รัฐบาลได้เพียงอย่างเดียวนะคะปัญหาเกิดขึ้นอย่างที่เราเห็นก็คือทั้งเรื่องขาดแคลนออกซิเจนไปพยาบาลก็มีที่การศพขณะนี้คนที่เสียชีวิตเพิ่มขึ้นอย่างรวดเร็วการเผาศพก็ต้องเผากันเป็นแบบพร้อมๆกันนะคะทำให้เป็นภาพที่หดหู่คนเสียชีวิตก็มีทั้งเด็กทั้งผู้ใหญ่วัยรุ่นก็เสียชีวิตทำให้ขวัญและกำลังใจของคนอินเดียก็ไม่ค่อยจะดีเท่าไหร่ในช่วงเวลานี้นะคะและคำถามที่ว่ามีงานเลี้ยงมีการจัดพิธีกันเขาก็ยอมรับว่าเป็นความคาดไม่ถึงว่าจะเกิดเหตุการณ์แล้วทำให้การติดเชื้อกระจายไปอย่างรวดเร็วแบบนี้นะคะถือว่าเป็นบทเรียนราคาแพงมากสำหรับคนอินเดียที่เกิดสถานการณ์แบบนี้ในช่วงเวลานี้เพราะว่าไม่สามารถคาดการณ์ผลกระทบที่จะเกิดขึ้นมาได้เขาก็มองว่าด้านหนึ่งก็เกี่ยวกับโครงสร้างพื้นฐานเกี่ยวกับระบบการเมืองแต่ว่าก็ได้เห็นความพยายามของรัฐบาลเช่นเดียวกันที่จะพยายามให้ออกซิเจนเนี่ยไปถึงคนอินเดียโดยเร็วที่สุดและในช่วงเวลานี้ที่กำลังขาดแคลนถังออกซิเจนถ้าหน่วยงานใดบริษัทใดห้างร้านใดนำออกซิเจนไปใช้ในกิจการอื่นๆที่ไม่ใช่การรักษาพยาบาลก็ถือว่าผิดกฎหมายแล้วก็จะต้องถูกลงโทษนะคะก็เป็นมาตรการเร่งด่วนของอินเดียที่ออกมาในช่วงเวลานี้ค่ะแล้วเมื่อสักครู่ดิฉันก็บอกว่าหลายๆประเทศก็กำลังติดตามที่อินเดียด้วยความเป็นห่วงแล้วก็เตรียมที่จะส่งความช่วยเหลือไปเพิ่มเติมคุณนเรศก็กล่าวขอบคุณนะคะแล้วก็ให้กำลังใจคนไทยเช่นเดียวกันค่ะซึ่งขณะนี้เขาบอกว่าเขาเองก็ไม่อยากจะเช็ค Facebook เพราะว่าพอเช็คแล้วก็จะรู้ข่าวว่าคนที่รู้จักกันคนรู้จักของคนรู้จักล้วนแล้วแต่ค่อยๆเสียชีวิตมีคนเสียชีวิตไปเพราะโควิด -19 ค่ะก็เป็นวิกฤตที่กำลังเกิดขึ้นที่อินเดียในช่วงเวลานี้นะคะเอาละค่ะขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ติดตามชมนะคะและสำหรับวันนี้ก็คือทั้งหมดของนัทธาไลฟ์ในช่วงนี้ค่ะกลับมาดูย้อนหลังกันได้นะคะทางการสัมภาษณ์ภาษาอังกฤษและสถานการณ์ที่เกิดขึ้นที่อินเดียค่ะวันนี้ขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ติดตามชมค่ะสวัสดีค่ะแล้วเดี๋ยวติดตามกันต่อในที่นี่ไทย PBS 3:45 นาทีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ